It's time now for business. We say hello to Yuka Royer. Yuka, it's on finally the building of that high-speed rail link between London and the Midlands.
HS2. Well, it's the biggest infrastructure in Europe and that connects London to the Midlands and then to the north. But HS2 will significantly reduce journey time with trains reaching top speeds of 360 kilometres per hour and has been built as a way to reduce the dominance of the south of England. More than 20,000 construction jobs have been promised, but the plan has been highly controversial, both due to skyrocketing costs and potential impact on the environment. James Wilson takes a closer look.
After 11 years of planning and controversy, building for high-speed rail 2 has finally started. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson gave the project the final sign-off in February, and now construction is underway. For supporters of HS2, the benefits are clear. In the past 2 decades, the number of journeys made by train in Britain has nearly doubled, meaning the existing network is overcrowded. A new high-speed network will shrink journey times between major cities and free up space on local services. But opponents say the project's eye-watering price tag means it should have been abandoned long ago. Originally, it was only going to cost taxpayers €34 billion. Now costs have ballooned to €120 billion, mostly because of the complexity of the project. HS2 will also run through some of England's most picturesque landscapes, and environmentalists were horrified to learn that ancient woodland would have to be felled to make way for the line.
Tomorrow, these are people who have been protesting something that is going to cause a scar right across the belly of this land, taking out our woodlands.
HS2 is the biggest expansion of the railways in Britain since the Victorian era, and the first phase linking Birmingham to London is due to be finished by 2031, after which a further 9 years of work is planned, extending the line to Manchester and Leeds.
While staying in Europe, Spain's CaixaBank and Bankia are in talks for an all-share merger. Caixa, based in Valencia and Barcelona, is currently Spain's number 3 bank. When combined with Madrid-based Bankia, the group would become the biggest lender in Spain, holding about a quarter of assets, deposits and loans in the country. If it goes through, the deal would mark the first major bank merger in Spain, one of Europe's hardest hit countries by the coronavirus pandemic. And shares of both banks soared this Friday, with Bankia gaining the most in 7 years, closing the day up more than 30%. Caixa also up 12%. The European financial sector on the whole got a boost from the news this Friday, but main stock markets lost steam in the afternoon, led by a plunge on Wall Street. London and Paris closing the week down by a little less than 1%, Germany's DAX dropping more than 1.5%. In the United States, a sell-off of tech shares continues. The Nasdaq is down by 2.5%. This week's rout, though, comes after 5 weeks of gains. And it's been a bad day for US stock markets despite improving jobs data. The Labour Department's figures show the US unemployment rate dropped to 8.4% in August, with 1.4 million jobs added to the market. It's a significant improvement from July, when the jobless rate was still above 10%, thanks to a surge in temporary government hires for the 2020 census. The recovery was not as fast as in previous months, and the US economy still has 11.5 million fewer jobs from pre-COVID levels. The gap in unemployment rates between white and African Americans widened for a 4th straight month. The White House chief economic advisor says the new figures are very encouraging.
Well, look, I think we're in a self-sustaining recovery. Booming housing sector, booming auto sector, and in general, retailing, consumer spending very strong. I think we're in a V-shaped recovery. I think the second half is at least 20% growth. Next year can be another big blowout year.
So at least he's expecting a V-shaped recovery for the United States economy.
All right, that's positive spin there. Many thanks for that, Yuka Royer.